My name is Zain al-Dawadi. I'm from Bahrain, and I was living in Saudi for about 10 years. And then we moved to Dubai less than a year ago. Bahrain and very close to Riyadh, where I used to live. So often it's a weekend destination for GCC citizens or expats that live in the GCC, apart from the UAE. It's a popular weekend destination to come and enjoy shopping or the beach. So I'm quite familiar with that. I'd say the GCC, in fact, the culture is homogeneous. It's the same, but you find different, you can say different flavors of the same culture in every country. So Bahrain, for example, is island culture. The people have an island touch to them, and they have some similarities to other island cultures. Here you can say it's coastal. On one side also it's a bit Bedouin. They have a mix of that, but their accents are very similar. Saudi is a bit more tribal, but also depends, where you are in Saudi. They also have coastal, and they have central, which is a bit more tribal, and north, which is more close to the Levant culture. The Arabic is not an issue between us. It's very similar. I would say even in some cases identical. And I think to an outside person, perhaps they wouldn't be able to tell a difference, but for us, we can kind of tell who's from Bahrain, who's from the UAE, the story is important because first, it tells you how Mecca was established. Having, to find water in the middle of the desert is quite important to the existence of any town or city. And it makes people stay in one place. So as you know, in Saudi, there was a strong Bedouin culture because of the lack of water, and they do seasonal movement. But when you find a source of water such as Zamzam, which is very rich, it allows the area to thrive and allows people to basically build their house and stay. So it's fundamental to the existence of Mecca, and we all know that Mecca is fundamental symbol within Islam. So this is, you can say, the birth of that. It's water, so you can realize that for any people living in the desert, water is a very deep and important symbol. I would say not just for Zamzam, but any source of water, to have that, and to have a source of water in that abundance in a very important place is also even more symbolic. So it's almost seen as miraculous to have that much water in the middle of the desert. And it's linked very strongly to the pilgrimage. It's linked very strongly to Islam. So I'd say it's quite important. So it represents survival, it represents continuity, it represents also legitimacy, to kind of have a story, and it's linked, you read about the miracle of finding Zamzam, and then it exists, so it's that legitimacy as well, that's quite important. Yeah, because it's symbolic, and because as well it's linked to some ritual. You can find many people who do it in very different ways. So the more pragmatic will probably give it as gifts, or drink it and be happy to drink it while they're doing the pilgrimage. And then you get the other extreme, which they believe it blesses them and it heals them, and they would either drink it or put it on their body, or bless their children with it. And you find all types of people, and all the whole spectrum. And it really just depends on the people, it depends on the family, the education. But it's very normal to find even within one family different ways of using it. It's very normal. I'd be happy that they made the effort to bring something so heavy, because it's a nice that it's very important. Well, it's very touching when someone remembers you during a pilgrimage, because of course there's a belief that you're one with God. You're doing a pilgrimage, and it's you're praying. So for somebody to in our culture, at least, it's very touching when somebody remembers you during prayer. So the fact that they bring something back already is a big meaning, and the fact that they made an effort to bring it is really nice. And yeah, I'd be happy to receive something like that from Mecca, definitely.
Thank you so much, Zain.
You're welcome.
Thank you.